Alright, what is going on, guys? My name is Brian, but you guys can call me Mr. Creations, and here we are today. It's Monday. You guys know what that means. It's Movie Monday, one of my favorite series here on my channel, and this week I'm actually going to be reviewing the movie Hercules. But before I talk about that, I want to talk a little bit about the gameplay you're watching in the background. Obviously some Titanfall, which I do like to upload on my channel about once a week, give you guys a little bit of variety instead of just Call of Duty 24/7. And I'm using the HCOG sight on the car SMG. I'm with 12-1 versus pilots, so pretty good gameplay nonetheless. Hopefully you guys do enjoy it. So anyways, today's movie, like I said, that I went and saw was Hercules. It was rated PG-13, slightly graphic. I wouldn't say it was more graphic than the Lord of the Rings films, if you guys have ever seen those. And very good movie. But anyways, so I'm going to rate it at the end of this commentary on a scale 1 to 10, and I'm going to rate it on a couple things: cinematic, acting, storyline, screenwriting, costume design, a lot of things like that. So number one, we'll talk about cinematics. Pretty well done in this film. I wouldn't say they were absolutely jaw-dropping cinematics like Transformers. I forget the name of the film, but the newest Transformers, that movie had jaw-dropping cinematics. This one, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I don't think they messed anything up cinematics-wise. It was good nonetheless, and it fit the film. So anyways, moving on to number two is actually going to be the costume design of the film, which I think actually fit pretty well. The costumes didn't seem cheesy to me. I'm going to give the costumes another 8 out of 10. Very well done. It didn't seem cheesy. It seemed pretty realistic. So, like I said, 8 out of 10 on that. So the next subject is actually going to be storyline. Obviously, a lot of you guys, grew up, your parents reading, the little Hercules books to you, or the Disney movie back in the 90s. I remember watching that when I was growing up. So I've always had, a special place in my heart for the Hercules story. I think it's a great story, and they did it justice. So I'm going to give storyline another 8 out of 10. But anyways, so moving on to actual acting in this film, which, by the way, I thought was excellent. I haven't seen this good at acting in many movies as of late. It was absolutely excellent. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10, and I'm going to give you guys the reason why. So, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was actually the main character. He played Hercules in this film, which I never really, to be honest with you guys, gave the guy much credit for his acting ability. I didn't think he had much of an acting ability, but now that he's started to really take off in the Fast and Furious franchise, and that I've seen him in other films, he really is an impressive actor, and I'll definitely give him props for that, as well as the supporting actors in the films. I wish I remembered all the actors' names, but they did a great job as well. So acting in this film by far gets a 9 out of 10. I would actually even go far enough to say a 9.5 out of 10, which, by the way, you guys will hardly ever hear me a 10 out of 10 say that, because that would mean it was absolutely perfect and flawless, which no movie is perfect and flawless. Nothing really is. So 9.5 out of 10 is the highest rating I've given on this series, and that's because I truly do mean it. I think the acting was great in this film, as well as there was a pretty interesting plot twist. I'm not going to give that away. I don't give spoilers away on my Movie Monday series, and the reason I don't do that is because these films are still in theaters, and I'm trying to either convince you to go see this movie or not waste your money. So anyways, going on to my last subject is actually going to be, or actually I already talked about storyline, but I want to talk about special effects. Now, there were quite a few monsters in this movie, and special effects I don't think was a huge part of this film, but it was still somewhat important. And special effects in this movie were pretty much as good as the Transformers films. I mean, you come to expect a certain level of special effects that every movie company can do nowadays, that it doesn't seem like it's something that's important anymore because everybody seems to be able to do it. So I'm going to give special effects an 8 out of 10, again, just like a lot of the other things in this film. But overall, this movie is going to get a 9 out of 10 for me, which is pretty huge. I really don't rate that many movies a 9 out of 10. It was a very, very good film. I enjoyed it. I think it's worth the money going to see this movie by far. Obviously, I mean, if you want to take your kids, it's a little bit graphic, but it is PG-13, so I mean, if you guys have kids, you could probably go take them to see this, as well as, friends or family, go and see this movie. It really is a great film. I enjoyed myself the whole way through. The only complaint I really have with the movie is that I felt like it was a bit too short. It was an hour and 37 minutes long, which movies like these, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, movies like these that are fantasy, I really enjoyed to see 2 hours and 20-minute long films, and this one wasn't only an hour and 37 minutes, but it did end off like there could totally be a second Hercules. I'm sure we'll see that in the next couple years here in the future, but anyways, that's my review on this Movie Monday. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. Also, you guys will see at the end of the video coming up here pretty soon, I have a new outro. It's actually made by Moab GFX. He's a great guy. I really do appreciate the GFX work he does for me, and he's in the link of all my videos. He's made my YouTube background and avatar, and he's made this outro for me as well, so hopefully you guys do enjoy it. It will be in all my videos in the future to come, and hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one tomorrow. Peace out, guys.